I'm Dr. Sandra Brown. I'm an ophthalmologist in North Carolina. I'd like to talk to you today about Diagnosing Scam Pharma Part 3. It has a mermaid on it. It must be okay. First, let's consider this box. Does this strike you as a credible product? This is an eye drop, which is branded as being from the Fountain of Youth. The box is really pretty bizarre. If you look in the lower right-hand corner and take a squint at the bottle says Amino Cleanse, which sounds like something you do to a colon, not an eyeball. Taking a closer look at the box, we have Fountain of Youth, a mermaid, who's being assaulted by a really enormous golden eye drop, big enough to give her a significant subconch hemorrhage. Across the bottom, we have some important language designed to entice you to utilize this product, including the words first, moisturizing, and biologic. The bottle, once again, has the mermaid. Store at room temperature in two different places, to the right and left of the mermaid, in case you didn't figure it out after the first read. It contains no preservative, and let's not forget the Amino Cleanse. Who makes it? Well, Dr. C. Randall Harrell, MD, founded the Fountain of Youth Institute, which is a leading center in cosmetic medicine and surgery. Now, I don't really think of an eye drop as a form of cosmetic medicine. It's certainly not a surgery. So I would say that Dr. Harrell wandered a little bit far from his medical roots when he began to create, market, and sell this product. But hey, it has a mermaid on it. It must be okay. Now, does this strike you as a credible product? Well, if I didn't know what I already know, I'd say sure. This is an eye box that contains an eye drop, classy marketing, nice logo, tells you what it does, it moisturizes, and it's got two strengths, and there's nothing about it that immediately puts my hackles up. It even has a little R in a circle for a registered trademark. What about these placenta drops? The website tells us that this is a first biologic. Hey, I thought the mermaid was first in biologic. The ads also tell you that this product is first biologic and preservative-free. And the box talks about the product being moisturizing. And the doctor is none other than C. Randall Harrell, who is now the chairman and CEO and founder of Regenerative Processing Plant, LLC. He seems to have left the Fountain of Youth Institute behind him and forayed into regenerative medicine. Summing up these two products, the mermaid versus the placenta. What is similar about the product features or branding? The word biologic is prominent, both in the mermaid and the placenta. One of them was first, although both of them are described as being first. They're both moisturizing, preservative-free, and can be stored at room temperature. In the case of the placenta eye drops, this would be Regener-Eyes Light. C. Randall Harrell, MD, is the guy behind both products. It all depends on how much you want to pay. At online retailers, you can get the mermaid drop for about $40 a bottle. And the placenta drop, it depends on whether you're buying the light or the pro. It'll run you $75 or $175 a bottle for 3 cc's. I'd call that a lot of similarities. Those of you who have watched my other videos will recognize this slide, how the box evolved. On the left, we have the first image of a Regener-Eyes box I could find still lingering on the internet. At the bottom, there is a misleading reference to FDA guidelines. In the middle, we have the box that the FDA thinks this product is packaged in. And this was taken from Daily Med, where Regener-Eyes is pretending to be an over-the-counter product. On the right, we have the actual box, which avoids all mention of dry eye disease. But I think we can add another step or another stage to this evolution and put the mermaid in there. So this is how the box evolved, revised and expanded. First the mermaid, then the FDA fake out, then the OTC compliant but not used box, and then Scam Pharma. Why spend all the money to go through this complex rebranding process? After all, that mermaid box is actually kind of pretty. Well, on the left, we have an eye drop product, which would be, let's call it Medi-Spa-ish. On the right, we have an eye drop product, which we would call doctor-ish. So this marketing effort was all to allow eye doctors to be able to recommend Regener-Eyes Light without embarrassment. I really cannot imagine my colleagues, either in ophthalmology or optometry, fervently recommending to patients with severe dry eye a Fountain of Youth eye drop with a mermaid on the front. It is easier to believe that these same doctors with the very best intentions would recommend Regener-Eyes. And what this does effectively is to turn eye care providers into Dr. Harrell's sales force. It's really diabolically clever if you think about it. And I've been thinking about it. Along with the snazzy new high credibility box, we have medical magic marketing. This was screenshotted off of the webpage, and those of you who run to the webpage to confirm that it's still there will find that it's not there. You can pause the video and read all of those tiny words, but here's what you need to know. If you do read those tiny words, it sounds medical, complicated, and scientific. There are a lot of credibility words, including platform technology, engineered communication, cytokines, homeostasis, recruitment necessary, and healing process. I mean, who wouldn't want all those good things happening to their eye? And the source of the magic is something called D-MAPS, which is trademarked. These products are manufactured using DMAPS, which is an acronym which stands for Derived Multiple Allogeneic Proteins Paracrine Signaling Platform Technology. Now, there are some actual medical words in there, but they're just strung together in a conceptually random fashion. It's sort of like a recipe for pound cake that includes ketchup and kitty litter. I wanted to actually find out what was in Regener-Eyes, so I made a phone call to the manufacturer. I can assure you they're not taking my phone calls anymore. But this is what I asked, a very basic question. Can you tell me the dilution of the placenta extract? And for those of you who are dropping into the middle of this video and have not watched many of the other videos or really understand much about Regener-Eyes, the manufacturer asserts that it extracts these paracrine signaling proteins from placenta and converts them to an eye drop. So you have to have some kind of ratio in there, the ratio of the placenta extract to whatever they're diluting it with. So I said, well, what's the dilution? 20%, 50%? Because patients who are using autologous serum tears are concerned about that. The sales reps gave me the most incredible answer. She said the bioactivity of the pro version of Regener-Eyes is 10 out of 10, and of the light version is 6 to 7 out of 10. And I knew this was such complete and total BS that I could not bear to ask for a little bit more of an explanation on this so-called bioactivity score. But I decided not to let her off the hook. So I said, okay, that's great. Love it. But, I want to be able to answer this question when my patients ask, because they're going to ask if I recommend this product, which of course I never would, but she didn't know that. So I'm like, can you get back to me with the dilution information? After we hung up, I had a little bit of a fantasy conversation with a key opinion leader. Those of you who have attended medical conferences know that when we're having live conferences, there's a room with seats in it and usually aisles that lead up to the podium area. And there's a microphone stuck in the middle of the aisle. If there's 2 aisles, there's 2 microphones. The idea is that at the end of the presentation, individuals in the audience can go up to those microphones and ask questions directly of the speaker. So the KOL, I imagine, is up there saying, hey, Regener-Eyes is just like autologous serum tears, but more convenient. If I was at that microphone, I would say, hey, what's the dilution of the placenta extract? KOL would say, well, they use a bioactivity score. And this would be my moment, because I would say, what is that? Really, precisely, what is that? Got a real reference? Got a laboratory standard? The KOL only has one answer, which is, hey, it's very active. I have seen definite benefit. And if you want more information on how key opinion leaders influence the treatment behaviors of ordinary, sincere eye care providers, see the video Placentas from Strangers Part 2. Continuing this conversation with me at the microphone, I would be playing the game and say, well, so has the company performed bioactivity testing on autologous serum tears donated by volunteer patients? Because after all, you said this product was just like autologous serum tears, and you actually suggested that we switch AST patients to Regener-Eyes. At which point, in this conversation in my head, the KOL is going to say, let's take a question from the other microphone. Hey, I need to have some fun here. But back to what's in it. I then sent a follow-up email, and I got this reply. We do dilute the pure placental-derived mixture with sterile water to make an eye drop formula. As far as how much we use, this would be manufacturing trade secrets, as you might imagine. This is to protect our brand, etc., from competitors. If you say this to the Food and Drug Administration, it will lose its collective mind. And I invite you all to start reading your drug and eye drop package inserts in detail, because you will never, in any of them, ever, in a legitimate product, find the statement not revealed because it is a trade secret. I just have to go lay down a little bit, recuperate from that one. So Rebecca and I recently had this conversation late in the evening. Well, late for me. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. She said, hey, Regener-Eyes has seriously changed their website. I, of course, ran off to my MacBook to look at the website, and this is what I noted. That Regener-Eyes has purged the word biologic and deleted all the babble about bioactive proteins and the infamous DMAPs. Their slogan used to be, the power of a biologic in the ease of an eye drop. Trademarked. Now it is the power of science in the ease of an eye drop. Still trademarked. And I had to ask, what does that even mean? And why would you trademark it? I actually think what happened was that somebody went in there and changed the language on that sentence and forgot to delete the trademark. Take a look at the green boxes. On the left, we have before. Regener-Eyes is a first-in-class natural biologic ophthalmic solution. And the after. Regener-Eyes is a first-in-class natural hypotonic ophthalmic solution to relieve dryness of the eye. Now, those of you who have watched Scam Pharma Parts 1 and 2 know that Regener-Eyes has, up until now, been extremely careful to avoid stating that their product relieves dryness of the eye. And that's because if they said that, they'd be big time breaking the law. So the fact that they say it now makes me really, really suspect that that placental extract is not in there anymore. But getting back to that dilution, which is a trade secret, I suppose if you used one tiny drop of DMAPs in something like a 5-gallon jug of sterile water, the amount of protein in there might actually be imperceptible to testing. And guess what? This does technically meet the definition of a hypotonic solution. You then have to ask yourself, why are you paying $175 for this? And my colleague Snail has to point out, with a grin, waving antenna, Regener-Eyes LLC is clearly aware of biologiceyedrops.org, because there can be absolutely no other reason why they would so markedly deviate from the key aspect of their promotion, which is that this is a biologic eye drop which contains proteins that will magically heal your cornea through regeneration. And my reply back to Snail was, hey, it's nice to be noticed. For more details, see the videos, FDA Drug Approval for Biologic Eye Drops, Parts 1 and 2. Be smart, believe real science. Don't be fooled by slick marketing and meaningless medical babble. Regener-Eyes LLC will not tell anyone what is in their formerly biologic but now hypotonic eye drop. Maybe that's because the answer is constantly changing. And this is Scam Pharma. Thank you for listening.